I wasn't originally going to do this video, but a friend had sent me this video and I thought I wanted to put my input into it because it actually made me mad to watch it. And in all honesty, I think this is, to add to my last video that I talked about, this is one of the bigger problems with the fitness industry and the misinformation that's out there. And it's all about selling products and getting people to use their products or their services. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Laith and I have trained hundreds and hundreds of people in health and wellness over the last 2 decades. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe down. So let's watch the video then.
Burning fat should be fun, not frustrating.
You've probably seen this woman all over your social feed. I thought she was a hardcore gym fanatic.
No, you're probably seeing her on social media a lot because she's paying a lot of money to advertise to people that are interested in fitness.
When I saw her abs, but she isn't. I reached out to her on Facebook and asked her, what's your gym plan? She said she doesn't even go to the gym.
Of course not.
The #1 weight loss mistake during...
I don't get why she's doing a facial thing as she's talking about health and wellness. Is it to make it look like it's natural?
menopause.
Running off our calories is a foolproof way to stay in a calorie deficit, right? Wrong.
People think they can binge on burgers and fries and then just run it off at the gym, but this method is outdated.
So I will agree, it's not about outdated, it's about understanding the reason why we go to the gym. And the 2 elements that we're looking at is we go and work out on the treadmill or whatever we're doing our cardio because we want to improve our cardiovascular system, and we lift weights to make sure, we do resistance training because we want to make sure that we have muscle mass so as we get older we don't face other health issues as well. But it has very little to do with trying to lose weight. And yes, they are interconnected, but the whole purpose of it is that we're looking to be healthier, and the weight part or the fat part is through our food mostly.
And it clearly doesn't work. There's a much better way to stay in a deficit that you can do right from home.
We need to trash the treadmill.
Abs aren't usually a
I don't understand why they have to kind of be extreme. I guess I know it's for show, but at the end of the day, when we fear monger things that might add value to people that might not be active throughout the day, but they're using a treadmill to do that, and then they watch these kind of things and they were influenced by it, then we're adding more negative thought into something that is already hard to do. So,
priority for women during menopause, but why not?
You're that woman from Facebook.
see, they're talking about abs and having abs and even throwing in there the buzzword now, and it's menopause and the secrets of menopause. But the reality is having a 6-pack doesn't mean that you're healthy, and most probably you're not, because you are lacking in the body fat that you need to kind of produce proper hormones and stay healthy with that. And the more you have in terms of abs, that means the lower body fat you have, which means most probably you have more health issues than a person that might not have the abs.
How can you eat that and still look like that? Is it all true?
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is true. I have a crazy sweet tooth.
I really wish they would find better actresses or actors for these roles, because it's so pathetic at how lame these things look and how scripted they look, and how they try to make it seem like they've found the magic pill to everything.
Amazing. I gotta say, I was skeptical when I first saw your method, but now I kind of want to try it.
I'm so glad to hear. It's simple. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Oh my
Here.
God.
3 mistakes to
But
avoid
you
when
need to buy
trying to
their
lose
program
weight.
to know what it
If
is.
a person is hungry while trying to lose weight, a handful of nuts is a good choice, right? Wrong. There are 3 metabolism.
It's irrelevant what they eat, because if you are eating less than what you need, then you will lose the fat. And if having nuts then is part of your overall meal plan, then and you're below your calories, then you're going to lose the fat. The thing is, when or how much you have of them is irrelevant to this equation, because we're talking about eating less than what you need. And if you know how much you need and you're always able to eat at or below that, then you are going to be fine.
Mistakes almost every woman makes, and the craziest part is nuts are healthy, but most people don't stop at just a few nuts and end up eating more calories than they intend to.
That's very true, and most people, snacking is probably the biggest problem when it comes to being able to lose weight, and people don't realize with snacking how many calories they're taking in, especially when it comes to dense calories like nuts.
All led to believe they are actually there to help us lose weight. I call them change blockers. Instead of obsessing over calories and eating less satisfying foods, we should be focused on our RMR.
What poop can tell us about weight loss?
Legs up, legs down.
So I don't know if this is an editing mistake or I don't, because I'm completely lost. They were talking about your resting metabolic rate or your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, or your needed calories of just kind of doing nothing, and that's the minimum amount of calories that you need. And then they're jumping onto poo and how to poo and
what's the best way to poop? Does it matter? Well, poop is
very
actually
confusing.
directly related to our metabolism, so regular poops are super important. If we want our bodies to properly and burn calories efficiently, we should pay more attention to our poop. How many minutes of cardio does a woman need every day? Well, it all depends on her resting metabolic rate, so pay close attention here.
I lost about 80 to 90 pounds.
I'm down 17 pounds. Went from a size 6 to a size 2.
My name is Marina Santos and I'm a mom, a personal trainer, and a fitness model. For years, I was really confused about weight, diet, and exercise. For example, I used to think that long cardio sessions would help, but once I learned about my resting metabolic rate, everything changed. If a woman's RMR is already cranked up, then she doesn't need to do much cardio. And for women whose RMR is running slowly, well, cardio is not the best way to boost it.
So she starts off in the beginning of the video, she's talking about doing that cardio isn't the way to lose it. And now she's talking about if your RMR is low, then you should be doing cardio. And so it's contradicting each other. But putting that aside, when we look at your basal metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate, that just means how many calories your body needs to function. So the breathing and blood flow and thinking and all that stuff. That's without doing anything. That's without going to work, going upstairs. Point being is that rate is different from every single person, and part of it is genetics, part of it is how much muscle mass you have. So the higher the muscle mass, the more your metabolic rate is. So it's not something you can control directly in that sense. And even if you do increase muscle mass is only going to increase ever so slightly over time. So generally speaking, everybody has, give or take, the same metabolic rate, male and female, separated on that. So when she's looking at a cranked one or a slow one, it doesn't make sense because that's your metabolic rate, and the healthier you are, your metabolic rate will increase slightly, but it's dependent on other factors as well.
RMR is how many calories the body burns doing stuff like breathing, digesting, and pumping blood. It accounts for 70% of the calories that the body burns every day. So that really changed how I started exercising and eating. It all started by knowing what my RMR was. So I built a short quiz to help other women learn theirs. It takes about 30.
You don't need this. You can find online the calculators. There's a million of them. You can even do an in-body or a body scan. It'll give you your metabolic rate as well. But it's an estimation and it's not 100% accurate. And it's based on trial and error then. Once you start to kind of, let's say, for example, you do 2,000 calories a day, then those 2,000 calories, if you're eating at them but you're still not losing fat, then you drop it a bit more. And eventually you'll learn where your maintenance calories are, where your deficit is, and where your surplus is.
Seconds. Then once I know a woman's RMR, I have a simple 14-day metabolism reset to get her stronger and more lean.
So I don't know what a metabolism reset is. I really have no idea what they're talking about, and there's no such thing. So don't fall into that trap that she has a secret formula, 14 days, and I'll show. Again, they're trying to sell you something. It's very simple. Track your food. I have enough videos about this, how to do that. Track your food, know how much you need to have in a day, and you can look online, and I'll put links below for them. Look online and get how many calories you should be having a day, and it's based on how active you are throughout the day, and your age, your size, and all that stuff. And then start to track your food. Unless you know quantities and understand quantities of food, you're not going to be able to start to do that. You can do it through trial and error, but it's going to take so much longer and so much more frustrating to get to that than doing it in this way, which will take you a week or two, and then eventually it'll become very easy to do. Even by looking at food, you'll start to understand how many calories they have, and you'll always stay eating below what you need, or you maintain it so you don't add weight to your body.
And based on just a few more questions, I can tell her how much weight she can expect to lose doing my metabolism reset.
There's no reset.
Thousands of women
Stop saying
now.
that.
This has been the one thing that's helped them keep the weight off, because it targets the RMR, which again accounts for 70% of the calories.
What the hell does she mean? It targets your RMR. I don't get what. Fuck. This is frustrating. What does it mean? Targets your RMR.
Burned every day. So click the button below to take the quiz now. See just how much progress is possible in 14 days.
Click the link below.
Click the link below. So if you believe this stuff, I'll send you a link to send me money. Send me money, and I will reset your metabolism for you with my secret way, my secret 14-day way. Click the link below and give me your money. Anyway, people need to stop buying these things because it's encouraging people. I get people are frustrated, but honestly, there are people out there that give out enough free information to guide you, and people like myself that are more than willing to take out the time to help and guide people and get them on the right track, that you don't need to buy into these gimmicks. And I'm pretty much sure that she's not adding any value when you buy her 14-day metabolism reset. And you're learning what your RMR is, which you can go online for free. Just put in your metabolic rate, what is it, how to calculate it, and it's easy. Anyway, so I thought I wanted to share that with you guys. Until next week, enjoy and keep moving, I guess, because movement is essential.